elementary schools. From a very young age, I've always been drawn to art. Crayons, markers, beads, you name it, and I wanted to make something with it. When we were dropped off at daycare, other kids ran towards dolls and Legos. I ran towards arts and crafts table. Throughout my school years, I made sure I've had at least one art class every semester. When I reached high school and figured out that I could pick out one art class different from the rest, like ceramics or photography, my mind was blown. I think I was so attracted to art from such a young age because I don't think when I created a piece of art, I solely focus on what's in front of me and nothing else. Since I can remember, my art teachers have been most monumental to me when considering anything about school. Art is important in elementary schools because art classes give children freedom, it gives children confidence, and it makes them think in a way that they might have not thought before. Art is important in elementary schools because art classes give children the freedom that they might not experience in other classes. Art lets children experience things on their own. In other academic classes, there is usually one answer for every problem. In art, there are an infinite amount of answers to what they could do or how they could do it. Art lets children explore their imagination at its deepest depth and create things with no wrong answer. In my experience teaching preschoolers, everyone's art was so unique and special, it was incredible. They didn't copy each other, nor did they worry if they were doing it right. I wish everybody had that kind of mindset. Art teaches decision-making skills very well. When making a decision on your art project, you think about decisions from different angles. You need to ask yourself a series of questions like, how would it look if I did this? What about this? What could I use? How do I express this? How big should I make it? Children don't realize it then, but they're learning a lot about critical analysis and decision making. Art classes are important because it gives children the freedom of choice that they don't get to experience a lot elsewhere, especially at a young age. Art is important in elementary schools because art gives children confidence. Not every child is a star athlete or a spelling bee champion, and that's okay. Art treats everyone equal in the way that you can do whatever you want with the materials with no judgment. I was very shy and quiet growing up except in art class. When I was there, I felt so comfortable in my skin and it lit up whenever I saw the supplies we were using that day. Art classes create an accepting and comfortable environment in comparison to the other cold, hard, structured classrooms. Being such an accepting subject, art lets students be who they are. Confidence is so important to a child's social and mental development. Art gives a child a chance to shine. As a child sees their progress throughout the course, their confidence will boost. Art allows children to make mistakes and to learn from them. Because of this, art allows the children to try bigger and better things with confidence. Art is important in elementary schools because it teaches students how to think in a different way. Art teaches the student how to learn visually, tactilely, and auditorily. Art is for all kinds of students who learn differently. Not everyone learns the same, and it's important to acknowledge that. Children learn visually by watching demonstrations, looking at exemplars, and watching their peers. Students learn tactilely by doing. They feel that the brush is too dry and it needs more paint. They notice that their clay is scratching their palms, so they add more water. They learn how to draw something by feeling the object that they're drawing. Art works your mind in wonderful ways that aren't used in other classrooms. I've learned through the years that I'm a very tactile learner. I learned this in art class. I like figuring out things on my own and just doing them, learning mistakes as I go. I also like to feel the material I'm using between my fingers as well as feel the subject matter that I'm drawing. Children don't notice it, but while they make their own artwork, they're figuring out how they learn and work best. It's helpful to figure that out how you learn best early on. After you figure that out, it can help you learn how to study, how to absorb more information, and how to pay more attention in classes. When a kid is being bad or if the teacher or principal is having difficulty with them, they send them to the art teacher. Our teachers don't have a magical potion that makes children behave. Our teachers are just very patient and accepting. A student that isn't doing well in all his other classes could excel in art. This doesn't mean that the student is dumb. It just means the child needs to be taught in a different way. In conclusion, art is important in elementary classes because it is a necessity to self-discovery and expression. Art isn't just about making pretty things and giving other teachers a break. Art teaches students how to be themselves, how to be confident, how to make decisions, how to learn best, how to best solve an issue. Although it doesn't seem like it may, art is a very self-identifying and educational experience. If I were in elementary school and the school didn't have art, I would be miserable. Without schools, school is just about following a pattern. Read the book, listen to the teacher, do the worksheet, study, exam, and repeat. I am so glad that art is not like other subjects. Art is surprising and constantly changing. It keeps kids on their toes. Children may not want to go to school, but they definitely want to go to art class. Art class is essential to elementary school because it gives students a chance to be anything they want.